Good morning and you're welcome to LAPAI TV. I am Zara Slima LAPAI, and on this program, One on One, we'll be discussing with special guests in the house. We have people from the LAPAI Mixed Observers Team, that is the LAPAI MOT. The Mixed Observers Team is a body that deals with issues of gender-based violence in our community. Well, to my left, I have with me,
Safura Abdul Karim.
and to my right,
Abigail Labessa.
Habiba Alhaji Garba.
you're all welcome to the program. And I hope we have a beautiful deliberation at the end of the discussion.
Thank you.
So, Madam Abigail Abesa, let me start with you.
Yes.
What is LAPAI Mixed Observers Team? Because I know this is the first time most of our listeners are getting to know, they hear the name LAPAI MOT. I know some people might have seen the flyer somewhere. They don't really know what the MOT is really about. So, would like you to tell us what LAPAI MOT is all about?
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Okay.
LAPAI MOT has been on ground since 2023. It came into being around May of 2023, and it was the creation of an NGO called Partners West Africa, Nigeria. And the MOT is a dynamic group, a women group that has various women professionals in their own fields brought together under one platform to deal with the security issues of women and children and vulnerable groups and marginalized groups as well, to deal with their security concerns. And these women are pulled out from various agencies, institutions. We have them from the legal and human rights institution. We have them from other women-led organizations. We have them from the traditional and religious institutions as well as women from the communities that are around. We have also teachers. We have people working with the welfare. So it's quite a very robust and a dynamic group that deals with issues concerning women, especially their security issues, and also children that may be vulnerable or any vulnerable and marginalized group.
So what are the most activities? Can you highlight the activities that LAPAI MOT does?
Yeah, we do a lot. One of the things we do is that we give access to justice to people who are oppressed, who are downtrodden. We also work with the women in the grassroots concerning issues of gender-based violence, and that is one of our spectacular aspects that we are more interested on. Issue of GBV, we call it GBV, gender-based violence, that women do go through in the community. And gender-based violence is broad. I believe in the course of our discussion, we'll get to touch about gender-based violence. And we also take care of the people with disabilities. We want to know what they are going through, if they have legal issues, we can take care of, if they have any complaint that we can take forward, as we are being distilled from various organizations. Each of these women have something to bring on the platform. If their problem is issue of access to justice, we have the lawyers and human rights that are with the group that can take care of it. If they have issues that has to do with family setting, the people from the traditional institution and the religious institution can take care of it. So it's a very broad spectrum of activities that we do, but this is just a few of them. We also deal with issues of forced marriage, which is prevalent in our society these days, and these are some of the things we have done, and we do much more. Yes.
Thank you so much, ma. In your course of discussion, you're talking about GBV, gender-based violence, and that's the major aim of LAPAI MOT, right?
Yes.
Now, we would like our legal practitioner here to enlighten us more about this gender-based violence. What is gender-based violence, and what are the forms of gender-based violence?
Gender-based violence The kind of violence that are being inflicted on a particular gender, most importantly, let's say maybe the female genders. These are forms of violence that are being done to them, particularly because they are women or they are people that do not have power or they are marginalized group. Those are what we generally refer to as gender-based violence. Then going to the forms of gender-based violence, we have a lot of gender-based violence or types of gender-based violence or forms of gender-based violence. Some of them are maybe, let's say, the physical violence. These are the ones that you can actually see, that you can see it happening, like beating. These are harms that you do to people, like a husband beating his wife. These are something you can actually see. These are what we call the physical violence. We have sexual violence. These are harms that are being done to people sexually. Like, let's talk about rape, indecent assault, like somebody raping a small girl or a young girl like that. That is what we refer to as sexual violence. Then let's go to maybe emotional and psychological violence. These are what you cannot see, but they are actually causing harm to the people that you actually inflicting that harm on. Maybe like threatening that person, intimidating that person, or let's talk about the one that is more prevalent. Maybe a husband and wife, but the husband refused to talk to his wife. They are staying in the same house just for some reasons known to him. He refused to have any dealings with her, talk to her, intimidating her and causing some kind of threat and harm to that woman. That's what we call emotional violence. You can't actually see it, you can't actually touch it, but you can feel it and it's there. Then let's talk about economic violence. These are like financially inclined violence. These are violence that are being done. Maybe you are the husband is the one that we know has the sole responsibility of feeding his family and taking care of his family. Because of some reasons known to him, he has the means. He would now deliberately withhold this feeding the family because he has the financial power over his wife, or the wife is working. Because he has some kind of power over her, he can now collect the money from her and decide what happens to her own money. These are some kind of those are economic violence. We also have cyber violence too. These are, yes, this is the one that comes with maybe this internet and social cyberbullying. They come with internet, social media, stalking. Somebody is there, he created maybe a fake account and is always stalking you, giving you false information or taking your own information and sharing it without your knowledge, or he has some private information about you. Instead of him to keep it to himself, he's now sharing it on social media. We have a lot of violence, but these are just some of them.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, if you are just joining us, we are still on the program one on one, and I know most of us we are just there. We don't know what GBV is. We don't know the forms of GBV. It might be happening to you and not really know that it's a violence against you. And as we proceed, you will get to know how the means you are supposed to follow to report GBV cases. Now, Madam Abiba, LAPAI MOT is in the LAPAI community, and we know these cases like these are bound to happen in a community that is as large as LAPAI. How do our people report
GBV. Is there any reportage of GBV cases in the Pai community?
Yes, there are so many reports of GBV cases, but the most challenges we are facing now is underreporting.
Okay.
Because at times they do not report directly to us because of the stigmatization, that maybe when they report the case to us, it will go viral, and the parent will now start intervene, and they don't want the case to go viral. They will now start pleading that they should stop it or we should withdraw the case. Instead of us to forward the case so that we get justice to the victim, they will not allow us to proceed, to report the cases. So these are the main challenges that we are facing, that there are so many cases. At times when we add about the case, when we follow up, you will see that yes,
truly there is cases, but because of this issue of the stigmatization, they don't like to report it. That is
And
the
I think
challenges.
Stigmatization, that's part of stigmatization, I think, is what's making most people not to report to even media houses, because they feel their pictures will be viral and this and that, not knowing that there are systems, there are legal backings in reporting GBV cases. As a media house, you cannot just go and
put up a person's picture and say this social person was raped. That's wrong. There's technology has advanced. We
Yeah,
have
you
our
can
means of
blur
blurring the
the
mm,
face,
face.
but that doesn't mean we will not report. We must report, because if we don't report that perpetrators are being handled and justice is really given to the victims, I think we will still have forum for more GBV cases to be happening in our
And one of
society.
the cardinal points of the MOT is confidentiality.
Yes.
Yes.
We have the confidentiality in us as one of our cardinal points, that when you report these cases, there is no how, because
To
of
go
that
viral.
confidentiality, that we go about telling people that this is what happened to you. Our members are actually professionals that can deal with these issues confidentially, that there is no how they would know
Who
who
reported and
Who
who the
reported
victim
who
and
the
is.
who the
victim
victim
is.
is.
Mm.
So at least this is something that the community have to be rest assured that this part of it is taken care of.
Okay.
Okay.
now, Madam Abigail, as LAPAI MOT, I know most of our people, after listening to this program, will be interested in reporting GBV cases to LAPAI MOT. What are the procedures that are there for them to follow in reporting cases like this to LAPAI MOT?
Yeah, first and foremost, it's for them to identify our numbers. We have
Okay,
numbers and people placed in the community that they can call,
okay,
and then we need their consent. Second thing is for them to give us consent to
take
take up
up the
these
case.
cases, to
Okay,
take them to any length
okay,
possible in order to get justice for them. You know, that's some of the challenges we face. There's some people that will come with a report, and when we look at this report and say the only thing we can do is to
take it to
take it
court.
to court, you find out that they begin to draw back. You're like, no, I
I
don't
don't
like
want.
I don't like to go to court. Please
Yeah,
don't even mention my
court.
name. Don't even allow the person to know I'm the one that reported. Yes, to an extent we can keep that down, but
Yes,
there are places we get to that we have to let the authority know that this is the complainant. We
yes,
cannot be the one to complain on your behalf
exactly.
because we don't have the locals. There's something in law we call local standard. It's only the person that is aggrieved that has the power to make the complaints before a court. So we don't have the locals, we can only give support. But when it comes to an underage child, underage child can give us consent. We will stand as local parenting to the underage child, that is in place of a parent or a guardian. So we can file a suit in his name and we will stand in with our name also as the guardian. But when the person is an adult, there's really nothing you can do. He has to put his name there so that the justice will be done. So when that begins to happen, you find out that our hands will be tied.
Outside,
We cannot
yes.
really do much. But once we have your consent and your backing, then we can take it forward. And as you have said, we are professionals and we know how to be discreet and be confidential about your cases. We don't carry placards or write your names on billboards or go to our social media
And
and
post
begin
your
to
name.
post. If you go to our social media, you will not even see any of the activities we do. We might do some activities that require us to
Post,
publicize, but when it
yes.
comes to sensitive
Cases.
issues like cases of rape, domestic violence, and the others, and you want to keep it discreet and confidential, we'll help you to do that because we know how to do that. So once you give us that consent, we can go ahead. We will complain to the necessary authority. There will be an instance that you need to take it first to the police because there are cases that you don't go straight to court. Even if you go
Yes.
straight to court, the court will refer it to police. But let's say it's a case of GBV. The first thing for us to do is take her to hospital, let them
Examiner.
examine her, get our evidence, report to police, or we report to police. The police will take her to the hospital Then they'll examine her. Then you get your evidence. Then you have the power with which to prosecute
The
the
perpetrator.
perpetrator with. So those are the steps we take. And after that, gathering our evidence, then we can begin the legal battle in court.
Okay.
We have lawyers that have been helping us prosecute these cases.
Okay.
We can also liaise with other lawyers, since there are people among us that are lawyers that can liaise with the other bodies of lawyers that can help us do these cases pro bono. So we can do that. So once you give us your consent, we'll take it up and give us your support. When it is time to give evidence as a witness, please don't shy away and say, Niba Rwana, I'm not coming to court. I don't want
my name to be in town.
My name. And there's a way we can do it. There's a way, especially with a child. The trial will be in camera. Nobody will be allowed in that courtroom except the child, the perpetrator, that is the defendant, and the judges. Then very few court staff will be there. Then of course your defense counsel will be there to guide you and defend you, help you prosecute the matter in such cases. So these are some of the steps you can take if you have any reports.
These GBV cases we'll be talking about, does it really happen to only women?
No, so to say, I will not say it only happens to women.
Okay.
Yes, there are men that their wives beat them too. There are men that are also going through financial, or is it, you call it financial? Economic violence. Let's say your wife works with CBN, or she works with one bank or an oil company or one international organization. She brings food to the table, and maybe you're just trying to patch up with business here and there, and she feels she's the boss at home, and she begins to deprive you of some things because you don't bring as much as she brings. Men go through it.
And then again, even the boy child too do go through it.
Yes.
When we talk about sodomy, as we have said, these gender-based violence are usually violence targeted to a particular gender.
Yes.
Like sodomy is targeted mostly to the boy child. This boy child, sodomy is when you have knowledge or have sex with a boy through his anus. You see, these are what usually happens to only boys. You cannot say a girl is being sodomized or something like that. So you see, even the boy child too face this kind of situation. And then we've had cases of even boy child too being forced to marry against his will.
Yes.
He knows that he is not capable to have a wife. Maybe he's not economically fit. And then his parents will now force him into one kind of marriage like that. So you see, it's not only the girls or the women alone that suffer gender-based violence. Even when we talk about out-of-school children, because one of what we do is also to ensure that children go back to school, because it's a criminal offense for parents not to enroll their children in school. So this lack of enrollment of children in school also include boys. It's not only about girls alone. So you see, it's not gender-based violence does not cover only girls or women. It also includes men and boys.
Okay. So this gender-based violence. What about people that are involved in drug abuse? Is that also a form of gender-based violence? Is it part of GBV cases?
It's not really part of GBV cases, but it is one of the root cause of GBV cases. When you talk about drug abuse, usually it's not far related from the fact that after taking those drugs, you tend to be able to commit whatever type of offense. We have had cases of those people that rape people or assault people or harass people.
Even kill people.
They can even kill people. They only get to do that after taking those drugs, and they are high and they don't even know what they are doing. And again, we've had cases of women going through some kind of emotional violence, which is a form of gender-based violence, that now results into taking these drugs because maybe she's facing some kind of hardship in her husband's house, some kind of torture or something like that, and then she thinks the only way she can get out of that situation is by taking drugs. So you see how they are interrelated. So drug abuse is also a very cardinal important part of what the MOT does, because you cannot remove gender-based, you cannot even separate them,
Okay.
gender-based violence from
Drug
drug
abuse.
abuse. It is a root cause and it is also an effect of gender-based violence.
Okay, Madam Habiba, who are the stakeholders involved in LAPAI MOT? Like the people in LAPAI community that know about this MOT.
The first person is the Emir of LAPAI.
Okay.
He knows about this MOT
Okay.
because we have been existing since 2023, and the first sensitization it was done in the Emir Palace.
Okay.
Some of the stakeholders again, there are the community leaders,
Okay.
and there are the religious leaders again,
Okay.
including some of the pastors in this LAPAI local government. And the pastor of I cannot recall the name of the church. Saint Mary.
Okay.
Catholic Church also.
Okay.
And Imam of Central Mosque of Badegi.
Okay.
And also Imam of the main Central Mosque of LAPAI.
Okay.
And some of the stakeholders again, like and the SAG in LAPAI too.
Okay.
She's also aware of this MOT.
So it's like the MOT has LAPAI community backing.
Yes, we have LAPAI community backing.
Okay.
Because they know
So
existence.
we are gradually wrapping it up, and to wrap it up, Madam, can you highlight the roles community and religious leaders have to play in ensuring that GBV cases are being reported?
Yeah. One thing I feel that affects the reporting, which I feel the community leaders and the religious leaders will help, is to take sentiments out.
Okay.
Whenever there is a report of GBV, rape or domestic violence or whatever, you find issues like, please, treat it gently. Let us sort it out.
Or it's a family issue.
It's a family issue. I'm married to his grandmother's sister. Yes, I'm married to his brother's cousin. So you find out that the LAPAI community, they are all intertwined, related. They are a close community. They are like a family. So when someone commits an offense, instead of handing the person over to the authority, you try to cover it, and it's doing more harm than good. Because most of these people, we think that they can do it and go scot-free. And when you see something happening repeatedly, it means the person has got some audacity. Something is giving him the audacity, because he knows when I do it, nothing will happen. So we want to plead with family heads, religious leaders, community leaders to join hands with LAPAI MOT and ensure that these cases are being reported. Because when you report them, you will cut the circuit. You will nip it at the bud and stop the onward progress of such kind of offenses. Whenever anybody comes to beg you, just tell them that you feel justice will be better done with the authority. Let the authority do justice. So that is our plea. They should please intervene, but let them hand over the case, the issue, the matter to the appropriate authorities. We have the police, we have the security agencies, the NSCDC, they are there. Even the Meangwas, they are authority in themselves, but they can take it forward to the police and the security, and the courts are also open. If you are afraid of going to the police, to the NSCDC, that is civil defense, or going to your Meangwa, you can walk to the court, lay your complaint, and the court will help you take it up.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much. It has been a beautiful deliberation with you all. And I know our listeners have been enlightened about GBV and what are the forms of GBV and how to report GBV cases in LAPAI. And I know with time, LAPAI MOT will start having cases, that is, if there are cases of GBV in LAPAI, and we'll be able to tackle the issue of underreporting of GBV cases in the LAPAI community. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for being here. And we hope to have you subsequently in our programs where you'll be enlightening us more on not really GBV cases, but the activities of LAPAI MOT as a whole. Thank you so much for your time, and we appreciate you being here. Dear listener, we've come to the end of this program on the program One-on-One, and on today's episode we call it a wrap with LAPAI MOT today. Thank you, and stay tuned to LAPAI TV for more news, information and entertainment. Bye bye.
Thank